Please remember to post a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can always get my latest travel videos. Welcome back to Venice. I'm heading for the famous Rialto Bridge and I found this square nearby. This is Campo San Giacomo. And this is the famous Gobbo statue, the hunchback of the Rialto. They're doing renovations on the statue, so here is a closer look at the Gobbo. The Gobbo is a marble statue of a crouching hunchback supporting a small flight of stairs. The statue was created as a podium for official proclamations. The statue is said to have inspired the character of Lancelot Gobbo in Shakespeare's Merchant of Venice. Bankers and money changers from the Rialto market would set up in this square. So this is the Rialto Bridge, and again, it crosses the Grand Canal. So it's a higher bridge, so bigger boats can go under it. Note the two sets of stairs leading up to the Rialto Bridge. The bridge has 2 rows of shops built on top of it. If you take the left stairs, you'll be able to see the canal and Venice. The Rialto Bridge is the oldest bridge crossing the Grand Canal. Interestingly, the bridge is not all that close to the Rialto market. The bridge was built in 1591 and designed by Antonio da Ponte. One of the candidates to design the bridge was Michelangelo. It's very, very crowded, as you can see. Everybody's here. What's interesting is there's a Rialto market, and there's also a market on Rialto Bridge. So I don't know which is the Rialto market that people talk about, but this one is expensive and the other one is just fruits and vegetables and fish. So this is the Rialto Bridge. So here's a lovely couple with a gondolier. There you go, so now you know you're in Venice. Here's a store selling Venetian glass, beautiful chandeliers. Venice became the prominent glassmaking center of the 8th century and was known for its innovation of high-quality glassmaking. In the 13th century, the glassmaking furnaces were moved to the nearby island of Murano for 2 reasons. 1, to protect Venice from fire hazard from the hot furnaces, and 2, to isolate the glassmakers to maintain Venice's glassmaking trade secrets. Today, Murano glass is the most famous type of glass in the world. Venetians were the first to be able to create clear glass in the 15th century and became the only manufacturer of mirrors in all of Europe. And beautiful works of art from the Murano glassworks, I'm assuming. Yeah, so they've got the glass artist's name there. His name is Mauro Bonaventura. And pretty, very pretty. More later. Well, hello again. It looks like I've made my way through. Google Maps was very confused, but here I am in St. Mark's Square. So I'm going to show you a few things that are pretty interesting. They have a Duomo. They have the Basilica St. Mark's, which is beautiful. But as usual with these old buildings, they're going through some major renovations. This is St. Mark's Square. It's obviously the only truly sunlit spot in all of Venice. This is the Doge's Palace. Doge is Italian for Duke. The Duke was the head of state of Venice from the 8th to the 18th century. The Doge's Palace was built in 1340 and was the official residence of the Duke. The palace is now a museum where you can tour many of the original rooms, including the Doge's apartments, government chambers, a picture gallery, the prison, and the armory. The cost to enter is 30 euros and it's always very busy, so best come early and buy your time tickets online, or prepare to wait in line for an hour or so to get the tickets.
This is St. Mark's Basilica. It's a Catholic church built in 1094. It was originally the private chapel of the Duke or Doge. Today, the basilica is free to enter. However, there is a very long line, most times over 1 hour. You can buy what's called privileged entrance tickets online to skip through the long lines. There is access to a veranda on the upper floor included. Guided tours are available for a supplemental fee. Be prepared to wait over 1 hour and pay about 10 to 50 euros depending on how much time you want to spend in the basilica. Taking photos inside the basilica is allowed, but there are restrictions. The church is covered with gold-backed mosaics depicting saints, prophets, and biblical scenes. The basilica is named after Saint Mark the Evangelist, whose remains are held in the church.
That's the Basilica of St. Mark's, and you can see the lion with the wings everywhere.
The winged lion is a classic icon of Venice. It is the traditional emblem of St. Mark, the patron saint of Venice.
This is the Venetian architecture. And Venice was its own country. It was an empire, actually, after the fall of the Roman Empire. Many people didn't know that. Venice was a city-state, and it became an incredibly important trading route. And that's how Venice got started. So anyway, I'm sure you already knew that, but I just thought I'd review it. This tiny little canalway is the home of Marco Polo. So apparently that's where he lived.
Marco Polo was a Venetian merchant and explorer born in 1254. He traveled from Venice to China via the Silk Road. He served as an emissary to Kublai Khan for 17 years, and as such, traveled extensively throughout China and Southeast Asia. When Marco Polo returned to Venice, he wrote a book detailing his travels, which was the first such written account of Asia by a European. Marco Polo's book helped to further knowledge of the East and open up trade and cultural exchange between Europe and Asia. Marco Polo's writing inspired Christopher Columbus and others to explore the East.
And I'm not kidding you, because it's got a sign up there. It says, the Casa de Marco Polo. I've been wandering the streets, and I wanted to show you how interesting this is. This is people who are on their lunch hour, and these are Venetians. There's such little space with all the merchant shops and everything else. Obviously, this place, the Al Marca, is pretty affordable, so it's got a fairly large line to get up there. That must be the place to eat. So that's where the locals eat, I guess. And you can see these businessmen here. They're just standing there, waiting to get their chance to go in. Very interesting, different side of Venice.
Here are some more canals for all you canal lovers out there. I want you to get the true Venice experience. They are everywhere here.
So this is the end of a canal. You can see a few steps.
What this is a delivery point. So the boats there, they deliver all of the food, fish, and all the other goods for the stores and restaurants in this neighborhood. Where they stop is here. When I was here this morning, I saw these boats offloading, and there were guys with hand carts picking them up right here. That's how it works.
The other thing you'll notice about Venice, no litter. No litter anywhere that I've seen. And the citizens, I think they're regulated. They keep a they clean off the streets, and there's no garbage, there's no graffiti. So it's actually, that's a plus of this place. It's a very pretty place because it's kept so clean, the best that the citizens can. We're going to try to find a church next. Stay tuned.
This is as close as I can get you. They don't allow photography in the church, and they charge an entry fee of €3. If they don't limit the visitors in some way, the church will be filled with tourists and there will be no room for the local residents to worship. So by charging and banning photography, they make it less attractive to the tourists, and thereby allowing the local residents to worship. Please subscribe, post a like, and hit the notification bell for future videos.